All right, Mr. Patrick Abell. And Mr. Patrick Abell is running for City Council District and District 6. And his opponent is not here. He confirmed that he would be here, but he's not here. So we will give you about 5-7 minutes. We may give you a question or two. Okay. Mr. Patrick Abell, tell us who you are, sir.
Patrick Abell. I live in Garland. Abell. I've lived in Garland going on 21 years. I was here 6 years through kindergarten. I have 2 daughters that are, one has gone through GISD and the other is going through now. Many people will see me referred to as the chainsaw man. One of our councilman's daughters sees me in school all the time. I'm truly in the district with the people. My heart is in the servant's heart. I am out, I want to be here to serve the people. I don't care who you are, what you are, everybody has one voice and everybody matters. Okay, we all come together and we can make the community great. I am a big fan of Garland ISD. I will do everything I can to support the district. It's made my daughters what they are. One of them graduated almost to her associates because of what this school district did. The Gilbert 3 Technology Center is one of the best things I've seen. If it was here whenever I was in school, chances are I would have taken it a little more seriously. That being said, I like to get in the community, be out, and communicate with people. You'll see me on Facebook if you're in the Garland, Texas group. If you're not, jump on it. There's 10,400 people in there right now. And if there's a question about the community, what do we need to do? How can we do it? Chances are it's going to be one of 4 people in this group that jump up and stand and say, hey, we can take care of that. We can get you in contact with the right person. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I've been married 20 years. My wife made that mistake and I'm glad she did. She's kept me around, so here we are.
Amen. All right, are there questions for Mr. A? Any questions for Mr. A?
I'll answer the one. School vouchers. I don't like it. I like Garland. Sorry. I know she left.
Oh,
I'm here. I'm listening.
Oh, there you go. All right.
I'm on that forum with you.
Yes, good. Dr. Miller.
Yeah, I'm Joyce Miller. I've been with the community for a lot of years, and son graduated from high school here in Garland. There are wonderful things going on in the district, and we hear a lot about all those wonderful things. But amidst all that wonder, we also have, as President McNeil mentioned, the disparity in discipline, but we also have an educational disparity. So what do you think we can do? Because our African American and Latinos constantly perform at the bottom of the list when it comes to any kind of educational comparison, STAR testing. So what do you think we can do to improve, eradicate that disparity?
Well, one of the neighboring communities, Mesquite, I was very involved with the city council person from Balch Springs, Julie Greer, and she taught me a lot of what I know about today. Community first. Personally, I think that the district needs to get involved on a personal level, okay? And again, city council, I'm not running for Board of Education, but I encourage the people of the district to get out and get involved with the parents. I've been really fortunate in my time with the district in that I have found the greatest schools and I advocate them, and people strive to be at a greater level in those schools. My daughter's in the magnet program, and a lot of the disparity on the neighborhood side is taken out in that magnet program because the children in my neighborhood, in particular District 6, are getting the benefit of being in a neighborhood program that is in a magnet school. So we perform very well on the test. Spring Creek Elementary, another school that was 82% Title I, where my daughters went, I stayed on the PTA board there 2 years after they left. They performed and were recognized as the National Center for Urban School Transformation's gold medal winner NGISD for 2015. And that's from the parents and the teachers working together. If we work as a community and we bring business back to the community and we get business and parents involved, I think we can erase a lot of that disparity.
All right, thank you.
Can I comment on what Ms. Randall just said? Folks, even like Johnny and I, our children are long gone out of GISD, and he still serves because he loves serving in this community. But even if you don't have children in the district, you can still join PTAs at any of your local schools. So I would say, if you wanna be involved, if you wanna know what's going on, join a PTA at any school.
Okay. Mr. Abell is running for city council. We can ask him school questions if you want to, he's running for city council. All right, all right, all right. Okay, we're all good. Good deal. All right, questions for city council candidate Abell. Abel.
Abell.
Abel, okay.
I will say something interesting. I'm in real estate as well. And we talked about vacuums that we're creating, okay? One of the vacuums that's been created in our area in particular, from a realtor standpoint, is neighboring communities, Richardson, Wiley, McKinney, they are developing live, love, play. They're actually working with the community to make the communities work together, okay? They're developing parks and recreation. They're putting together low-cost stuff for families to do. And that is drawing our businesses to them. And as soon as our businesses leave, our constituents leave. And in that vacuum, there's nothing being put back there. For the next 2 to 6 years, we have the ability to start drawing some of that back and get that back into our area through economic development committees, anything that we can do. But if we start filling that, we will start seeing people coming back to our area. So we will start seeing the enrollment numbers going back up. We will start seeing people see what our community has to offer as a whole, because 240,000 people basically choose Garland. We need to figure out how to make more people choose Garland to come so that we can be the community that I love.
All right, questions? Yes, sir. On hand, yes, sir.
Is it okay if I read the text from Mr. Garland?
No, sir, we've never done that, Mr. Moore, and the reason why is because they all have my number, and Councilman Stanley will tell you, we don't do proxy. And he'll tell you, we've never done it, and yes, but unfortunately not, yes, sir, we'll hold that. You mentioned neighboring cities pulling people out.
Yes.
You mentioned our youth, 13 and 18-year-olds. What does the city of Garland have to offer them? And what can you do to create an entity that will attract them and provide them something to do?
As a council person, one of the things that I want to do is come up and help grow that district, whatever that is. We should have some form of entertainment through parks and recreation, through anything for leagues, getting kids involved and getting them in the community. We have the Citizens Youth Council in our school. We have the leadership committee, the Principals Advisory Council, and we get kids involved through that. And those children grow up together and they become the leaders of tomorrow. So what I would like to do is come up with some form of, be it through Parks and Recreation, be it through the council, getting more sports-based, faith-based organizations to call us home so that we can do that.
All right, great. We're gonna have one question coming from our panelists, and then I'm gonna piggyback on something this gentleman said that he didn't. One of our panelists, you guys have a quick question for Mr. Abell.
Yes, do you believe that all students learn at the same?
No, he's not schooling.
Oh.
He's considering. What's going on out there?
Well, we kind of went, we got off of the, because I was supposed to go last. So that's where we're looking at the agenda.
What process will you use to make appointments to boards and commissions?
What process will I use to make appointments? I was on the I-30 TIF board. I was sought out by a council member and asked if I wanted to be a part of that board. One of my big things is if you don't ask, you'll never get it. If you get shot down, then convince. If someone finally gives you that third objection and says, I just don't wanna do it, I've got family, I've got friends, I've got kids, I've got whatever, I can't do it, then let's go on to the next one. But encouragement and community involvement is the backbone of what we do.
You go to, in other words, you go out and seek involvement.
Yes.
Okay, to piggyback on that question, this gentleman asked a question earlier, what are we gonna do for that next generation? Moses had Joshua, right? If you look at our city council that we're gonna have in May,
Yes.
it's gonna look all full one color,
Yes.
right? Not even, no female?
Well,
Well, female,
Don't,
my goodness, hey.
She might be upset to find out.
Yes, she will be upset. All right, so what can we do to make sure that we kind of diversify and get people prepared for that?
I think it's great that you're here. You're the youngest person in the room, and it really makes me happy. Getting somebody like you involved in the community, somebody that's willing to speak out and say, this is what we need. Please help us. Because nobody asked me to come up here. Nobody said, hey, Patrick, it's your turn to run. I said I wanted to do it. I want to be the voice, and I want to get people involved. The way that we do that, social media, advocacy, advertising, asking, because nobody said, hey, would you like to? I volunteered.
Super. Oh, wonderful. All right, we're gonna give you about a 1 minute closing, and then we're gonna wrap up our forum for the evening. So anything you wanna share with us in your 1 minute?
I'm me. There my art here. If you ever wanna know, ask. My phone number is always on the internet, my website. If you're on Facebook, I'm there all the time. I put my phone number up there 15, 20 times a year, depending on how many severe storms we have in the area. I'll be out cleaning up neighborhoods. I'm not a storm chaser. I'm a cleanup person. I met Mr. Stanley through storm cleanup because there were people taking advantage of our citizens. And I went out and kicked tree services away from houses and cleaned up houses for free. Dr. Griffin has seen me. There was the State Parental Involvement Conference. They invited something in the neighborhood of 40 parents from GISD. One parent showed up. I was there all 3 days. My principal could not make it on Saturday. I made it, went back, and went to the school with a report on the 3 things that I attended that day. All I can do is all I can do, and I will give it everything I have.
All right, thank you so much.